Hi Flosstube, Nancy Quilting Stitcher here. Today is February 7th, 2018. I believe this is my 16th video. I am in a new spot today, and the reason why is because I want to show you this quilt, and I'll talk about it in a little bit. But this has been a crazy week, and some really unexpected things have happened in the past 5 days, and it's brought up a lot of memories. And so this is the quilt I want to show you, but I will get to that in a little bit. It is here in southern Idaho. I'm telling you, you would think it was April the way our weather has been. It is so beautiful outside, and which is kind of scary because it's the first part of February. Our winter is definitely not over if things go as they have been. I expect usually we get another big snowstorm in February, then middle of February, then of February. So with it being so warm, and the trees are starting to think it's spring, and the flowers are starting to think it's spring, I don't know. Maybe this is the prediction of a very hot summer. I really hope not, because I would rather have a very cold winter than a very hot summer, because I do not tolerate the heat very well the older I get. So let's get into our whips. So I've worked on a lot. I have no finishes this week. I had a lot of finishes last week, but I have no finishes this week. But I have a lot of whips, so we will get into this. I didn't think I had this many, and then I started looking at them, and I'm like, whoa, I guess I do. So let's just start. My first whip is by Little House Needleworks. Now, I'm sorry, I'm going to be pulling in and out of my bags, and the reason why is because where I'm in this room, and it's not my crafting room or my sewing room, I need to put stuff up as I go, so I don't have this huge mess. Because I have plans. When this video is done, then I'm leaving for a while. For leaving the house, I think I'm going to go and spend the afternoon with my sister, and you'll understand why in a few minutes. But so I don't want to have to spend time cleaning it up. I just want to get this video going on upload, and then I can leave. So anyway, so my first whip is by Little House Needleworks, and it's the Hometown Holiday Series toy store. And I don't have much progress done on it, but this is where I am at on it. I always feel like a creeper coming around here, but I want to make sure you guys are seeing it. So not much done on it, but that's where I'm at. That's why it's called whip, right? My next whip is, okay, so this is my big project for the year, and I'm not in any hurry to get it done, and I'm hoping I do get it done this year, but if I don't, I don't, because it is big. And this is what I'm working on, is Plum Street Samplers, Liberty's Welcome. And I start in the middle, so I started in the middle, so I'm going to complete the entire house, and I may even complete this. I'm not sure yet, before I start on all the stuff around it, because all the stuff around it's going to be fun. And the house and this right here is just tedious. So I think I am going to, that's what I'm doing, is I'm working on the house, and then I may go back and work on this once the house is done, so I can get all the tedious stuff done. So anyway, what I'm doing is, because it is patriotic themed, I have stolen the idea from Andy at Nana's Needles, and I am working on a patriotic piece on the 4th of every month. So this piece will only be worked on the 4th of every month, and also on every Friday when I participate in the Friday Off the Grid virtual stitch-ins, when I have time to stitch them, when I have time to sit in and do the virtual stitch in, then this will be the piece I work on. So this is what I got done. So what I did is, when I started this, because this was one of my whips from, let me move that down a little bit. This is one of my whips that I started for my 12 days of Christmas. And I only had this little spot right here done. And so Friday, I was able to participate in a Friday off the grid virtual stitching. And so what I did is I wanted to get all of the windows outlined and the whole roof outlined. And so Friday, when I worked on it, that's what I did. I got the whole roof to this point down here. Let's see, no, I got the whole roof to right here, and I got these 3 windows outlined. Because why I wanted to do that is then I wanted to be able just to sit and stitch and not have to think about where I was stitching. So anyway, so that's what I did. I got that outlined, and I think Friday I also maybe got some of this filled in. And then on Sunday, the 4th, because it was the 4th of the month, I sat down and stitched, and I filled in all of this and got this all outlined. So now all I have left is to finish filling that in and finish filling in right there. And then there is, I think, a couple more rows going down here on this side, and then the roof will be completely done. And then I can start working on the windows or the bottom part. I haven't decided what I'm going to move to. This probably won't get worked on. This won't get worked on this Friday, so I probably won't touch this again for a couple of weeks. Just some circumstances have come up, and I'm not going to be able to work on this Friday. So, but that's where I'm at. And my next whip, like I said, I didn't think I'd been working on a lot, but I have. So my next whip is my Santa's Village sew along, stitch along that is on my Facebook group that I'm working on. And February we started on a new chart, and the one we started on is Poinsettia House. And this is from Country Cottage Needleworks Santa's Village series. There's 12 in the series, so we are stitching one every month, but there's no rules. You know, people are moving ahead. Some people are starting with different houses. Some people had started this on their own and then decided to join the stitch along so they could finish it. So, but anyway, most people who are doing this are doing it in order. So anyway, so that's that. This is, let's see, this is where I got. I worked on this on February 1st. So I will always start a new one on February 1st. Hopefully, if I get the village done. But anyway, February 1st, I worked on it February 1st and February 2nd. So I attached the border, got the border done. I have all the snowflakes done and almost all the snow done. I still have, I think, a little bit right here to stitch on the snow, and then the snow will be done. And then I can start on, I'll probably go to the bottom border and then start on the house. But anyway, this is what it looks like together. So I'm very pleased with that. Those are the only 2 days I did stitch on it. Whoops, sorry, I dropped something. Those are the only 2 days I stitched on it, was February 1st and February 2nd. And then my next one, this is my final one, is my shepherd's bush stocking. And I don't have a picture to show you what it looks like finished, but I have gotten a lot done. I've actually spent quite a bit of time on this. So there it is. Oops. There it is. So if you look close, you can see lines I have drawn on it. Right there, right there. That is how wide the stocking will be. These are my cut lines. So when I cut the stocking out, I will cut on these lines. And then so you have to imagine the sew line is 1/4 inch in, so the stockings will be about that wide from my fingernail to my fingernail. So what I've done, and then it will be quite long. It will go from here down to, this is the bottom. So yeah, it will be quite a big stocking. Not as big as if I was using it on the called for fabric, doing it the called for way, but it will still be big. So what I'm doing on this, and I can't remember, I think I might have showed this on my last video, but the border actually probably goes into there, I'm saying, on the pattern. So I have extended the border out because I want it to be within 1 inch of my cut line, so that when I stitch it, I'll have about 1/2 inch. Is that right? Yeah, about 1/2 inch or so. Anyway, a 3/4 inch, 1/2 inch on each side. That could be a 3/4 inch on each side. Because I didn't want to sew over my, when I'm sewing them together, I didn't want to sew over my stitching. I have also on this, because it is longer than, because of the count of fabric, I've had to do a lot of adjustments. And so it's going to be longer than if I just stitched the pattern, so I have to add some. So the original pattern just has this bottom border, and so I added this one, and then I'll add the name, which I'm not going to add the names until I have several of them done. So I'm just going to count up to where how much space I need for the name, and then I'll go ahead and repeat these 2 hearts with arrows up here. So I still need to do that. I still need, so last time I don't think I had her dress filled in, so I got it all filled in, and I got the wing filled in, and I still have to fill in the sheep. And then there's also a motif up here that I don't have. I ran out of, it's in this pink color, and I ran out of that pink, and I thought I had one in my extra floss, and I thought I pulled it out, and I thought I put it in the bag, in my project bag. I can't find it. So maybe I didn't. Maybe I was just thinking I did, and then I didn't, and so I was thinking I need to buy it. So I do need to get pink because there's another motif here. I did stitch her hand and her face. The called for is 841, which I don't want them to be brown. I want them to be white, skin toned. I want them to be our skin toned, not brown skin toned. So what I'm doing is I was using 951, and because originally I wanted to use 950, and then I couldn't find it, and I didn't have any in my extra floss, and I was working on the other stocking, and I just wanted it done, so I used 951, which is okay on that one, but on this one it makes her really white. So I think, and then I went down here to the shepherd. I'm going to kind of be all over on this one. I went down to the shepherd, and I stitched in, where's he at? I stitched in his face and hands, and I found my 950. I just had it in a different bag. And I think that's the color I want. So I may go back in and pick out her hand and her head and stitch it in the 950 to give her, so you can kind of see it more. I don't know. I haven't decided. I may just say to heck with this one and do all the rest with 950 and leave this one 951, but I don't know. And then down here at the bottom, because I needed this part right here, because this is the toe of the stocking, you can kind of see that. And I needed it down just a little bit so it fit more into the toe. So what I did is this zigzag border is actually supposed to, there's not supposed to be any space between her foot and the zigzag border, and I did leave 2 spaces. And then I did the zigzag border and this one. And this border also is longer because I think it only goes to like right here. I think I added like 3 zigzags on each side. And then on the bottom down here, this mountain or this hill, this is a hill, not a mountain. If you live in Idaho, you know the difference between hills and mountains. I went to North Carolina. North Carolina is so beautiful. The trees just amaze me. And I went to North Carolina about, it was in 2004, or no, 2004. My ex brother-in-law at the time, my brother-in-law at the time, and his wife were both in the military. They were both in the Army, and they were stationed at Fort Bragg. And she got deployed. This is right after 9/11, and she got deployed and was going to Iraq. And they had a 2-year-old, and they needed somebody to take care of their 2-year-old while she was deployed. And she, I have no idea where I'm going with this. Oh, I do know. Anyway, they needed someone to take care of their 2-year-old. So they called us and asked if we would take care of him. She was going to be deployed for a year. He couldn't take care of him because of his position, he could get called up in a minute's notice and have to leave. So they asked if we would take care of him for a year, and so we gladly took care of him. And so he came to live with us. Well, when she got home, I flew back to North Carolina. I took him back to North Carolina for them, and I flew back. That was quite crazy. An 8-hour flight with well, he had turned 3 in the meantime, so an 8-hour flight with a 3-year-old. That was crazy. Potty training, nonetheless. Anyway, so I had the opportunity to go to North Carolina, and it's so pretty. And she kept calling their hills mountains, and I'm like, no, they're hills. And my brother-in-law had told me she calls mountains hills, and so, or hills mountains. And she says, but she doesn't know, she's never seen mountains. And anyway, so that's why I say there's a difference between hills and mountains, because they call them mountains. But when you come to Idaho and Utah and see our mountains, the Grand Tetons and the Wasatch Mountains, those are mountains. These were hills. So anyway, that's my story. That's my story. So anyway, the hills. So on the hills, this hill went to this building right here, because it looks like a little background, a town in the background. And there's this building here, and it ends here. And this is where the hill on the pattern ends. And so I needed it to extend into this toe, so it was 1 inch from the border. So I just made my hill go down, and I added a couple of trees, added another flower, and a little bit of these little green sprigs of grass. I guess is what they are. I don't know what they are. So that is where I'm at on that. And then when I get over to this side, I will have to add another hill and maybe some trees or something. I don't know. I haven't decided. But this is where I'm at, and maybe we'll see if this will be a finish next week. I don't know. I'm not sure how much I'm going to get done on it this week. But that's where I'm at. So, and I'm very pleased. I'm very, very pleased with how these are turning out. This is done on Vintage Country Mocha, 14 count Aida. And the reason why my stocking is going to be a different size is because the called for is 18 count linen stitched over 2. And so really when you stitch that up, if you were to use 14 count Aida, it would actually be 9 count, or if you were to use Aida, you would use 9 count Aida or a 10 count Aida. 18 count would be 9 count. So yeah, so my stocking's not going to be as big as it should be, but because my count is technically smaller, I'm making adjustments so I can get a bigger stocking that like I want. Okay, so those are my whips and no finishes. I do have a couple of shout outs that I want to share with you. One, these two ladies are new. It's called Addicted Sisters Flosstube, I think is their channel name. Addicted Sisters. They are from Missouri, and they are sisters. One's name is Nancy, and the other one's name is Laura. They only have one video out. Sorry, I have notes here. They only have one video out, and you have to go in and check. They did a blackbird design chart. It's the one with, I can't remember what it's called. I have the chart. It's in there. I think it's one that Blackbird Design re-released, and it's in their Christmas book. I can't remember, Home for Christmas or something like that. I can't remember. I should have grabbed the book. But it has the bird and then the vines going out, or holly, I don't know. Anyway, it's really cute. They both stitched it. They both stitched it different ways on different fabrics, and they look so much different, but it's the same pattern. And beautiful. I'm telling you, beautiful. So anyway, go in and check them out. They were fun to watch. The other one that I watched this week is Kinder Ramblings. Her name is Christy. She is from Florida, and she is Kinder Ramblings because she is a kindergarten teacher. Oh, I couldn't do it. Could not do it. So kudos to her, I'm telling you. She has two videos. She shows her whips. She shows her finishes. She shows some haul. And I love her accent. She has that Florida accent. And anyway, so go check her out. The other thing I wanted to show is, my haul. Let's do my haul first. I totally blew my Stitch from Stash budget. I'm not doing the official Stitch for Stash, so I don't, it doesn't matter. But that was kind of my plans this year, was to just stitch from what I have because I have so much, and I really don't need to be buying anything. Yeah, well, I bought some. So some of the Shepherd's Bush stocking charts I don't have, and the ones I don't have, I am purchasing them. The ones that I never had, I am purchasing them. And I purchased this one because it was on sale at 123 Stitch, because it's in my wish list, and it popped up that it was on sale, so I decided to go ahead and purchase it while it was on sale. So I got Richard's stocking, and because I am doing buying all the charm packs to go with the stockings, I went ahead and purchased the charm packs for it. So there's that one. And then I discovered these I'm even looking at it. Lizzie Kate, the Flora Mix samples, and I don't know if you've seen them or not. I think I've showed a couple of them that I purchased. I really like them because they're still cute, but they're more of you can use more of a prim style, which I really like. So I got this one. This is the 2012 Ornaments from the Flora Mix Samples, her Flora Mix Samples line. And then this one is the 2016 Treats. And I love this pillow up here with the sheep. Trying not to have the glare on that, but totally impossible unless I take it out of the package, which I'm not doing. Okay, another one, I absolutely love Brenda Gervais patterns. And I don't have a whole lot of spring stuff. I have a lot of Christmas, but I don't have a whole lot of spring. So I decided to get this Boo and Babbies. Boo and Babbies. Now, I know this is probably a Halloween pattern. I don't know. Because to me it screams spring because of the sheep and the flowers, but yet it has a jack-o'-lantern on the wagon, which is probably the Boo part. But I figured I could just leave the jack-o'-lantern face off, or even change the color of the wagon, because it is orange, but I could change it to a springy color if I wanted. Because to me, This screams spring, not Halloween. So I got that. I thought that was cute. And the other one I got is Easter Peak Parade. I thought that was cute. So anyways, I got those. Another designer I really like is Scarlet House because I love the prim. And these are all Christmas because Lord knows I don't have enough Christmas charts to stitch. I got Be of Good Cheer. Sorry. I think it's cute how it's finished in the tray. It does call for MPI silks. I will not be using the silks. I will be using the DMC conversion. That was cute. And then I got Coverlet Christmas. This one uses Belle Soie. Again, not using silks. We'll use the DMC. Maybe use some fancy floss in it. I don't know. Maybe I'll never stitch it because you never know. You have to have stash, but you may never stitch them. And then Christmas Tide at Holly House. I love this one. I love the house. I love the bricks in the house. Again, this is using the MPI silks, but I will not use the silks. I will use DMC. And maybe throw in some fancy floss for good measure, but I will not be using the silks. There's that one. And the last one I want to show you is by Hands On Design. I love this. Stitch every day. Because we should stitch every day. Because we are stitchers. I don't know. I thought that would be cute in my sewing room. Very cute. And then the other thing that I want to show you is actually not haul or something I purchased anyway. It's something that someone sent to me. I have a stitchy friend that lives in Maryland, and we've been friends for years and years and years. We met on 123 message board, and how we met is, this is back when I was scrapbooking, and she was just starting into scrapbooking, and she posted a message on 123 Stitch, and she says, hey, I want to start scrapbooking, and if you have any tips, tricks, whatever. And I'm like, oh, I'm a scrapbooker, email me. So she did. And that began many, many, many years of a friendship. And we've been through a lot of ups and downs together. She's been my sounding board on many occasions, and I've been hers. She's given me advice, and I've given her advice. She's a little bit older than me. I think her kids are right around in my age range. But yeah, she's become a friend that I have treasured. I've really, really treasured. Anyway, that being said, I have made another stitchy friend that I have been talking to quite often through Facebook Messenger. She saw my videos. She watches my videos, and she reached out to me through Facebook Messenger, and we've been chatting for about a month or so. And anyway, a couple of weeks ago, she says, hey, so I have some duplicate charts. Would you like them? I'm like, sure. So she sent me pictures of what they are, and I picked one that I wanted. The other one I didn't think I would stitch, so I didn't choose it. And I'm like, so I told her which one I wanted, and I'm like, but you know what? I have some duplicate charts. So I sent her a picture of a couple of duplicate charts that I have. I says, would you like any of these? And I says, and we can do a swap. And she's like, oh yeah. And I had a Prairie Schooler, and she had a Prairie Schooler, so we swapped Prairie Schoolers. And I got it in the mail Friday. I can't remember. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It was just, I think it's maybe Thursday. So anyway, she sent me this. Boo to you. So those are so cute. I think those will be so much fun to stitch up and to make into pillows and put in my little basket or bowl or whatever I decide to put them in. Or just set them on a shelf in my house. I don't know. But so anyway, so I got that. And that's what I got. It's my haul. The other thing I want to mention is, sorry, I have to reach. When I'm in my sewing room, I have my desk and I have kind of everything around me. I don't have to reach. In here, I don't. So if anybody has watched Yvonne, the Night Owl Stitcher, her last video, you will know that she showed some things that she had done with Altoid tins, some needle cases. If you haven't watched it, go watch her video. It's way cool. So back a long time ago, before Flosstube, before Facebook, stitchy groups, I don't even know if Facebook was here. There was 123 Stitch was really my only source for communicating with the cross stitch world, was their message board. And people would always talk about Altoid tins that they would do. And this is before, this was right around the time when, I don't know, just, I was just learning about all of this media stuff and trying to upload pictures so you could put them on a website, you know, onto a message board or whatever. And so I don't even know that I had ever seen one stitched up until recently. But back in the day, back in the 90s, I'm going to say it's in the 90s, that Altoid stitching and putting your stitching pieces on Altoid tins and making needle cases was like all the rage. And I've never done one, but I collected some tins. Diane's my friend from Texas. She's the one that sent me this chart. I forgot to mention her name. Sorry, Diane. Anyway, she messaged me on Facebook this morning. She says, "Did you see Yvonne's last video with the Altoid tins?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's way cool." And I'm like, "But I don't eat Altoids, and because I don't like them, and how am I going to get tins?" And I thought, I don't know if I do this or not, but maybe I would, when my customers remind, "Hey, when you get out these Altoids, can I have a tin?" I don't know. Maybe if it's a customer that I know really well, I'll say, "Hey, you can have these Altoids, will you bring me the tin?" Anyway, because I think that's just cute, and it doesn't even have to be, I thought, and I think the first one that Yvonne said she made was, she made one, an Altoid tin, and she made it as a Tooth Fairy tin. So the Tooth Fairy could sneak in, take the tooth, put $1 in, and not have to disturb a sleeping child by trying to get out from underneath the pillow. Anyway, she had made this little tin. You know, that was her first one she ever did. And anyways, she has done more. And she uses them as needle cases, which is a really, really cute idea. So I was thinking, I think I have some tins that I had saved with the intentions of doing that years ago. So I pulled out, I have a tote that has, because I used to do tons of crafting, and I had bins and all kinds of stuff with crafting stuff in it. And I don't craft like I used to, not the same type of crafting. I cross stitch, and I do cross stitch finishing. But so I kind of got rid of a lot of stuff. So I whittled everything down to this one tote, and I've packed this tote around for a few years. And it just kind of has a mix mash of stuff in it. I thought, I think I have some tins. I did. I pulled them out. So what I have is, I'm missing one. Okay, so what I have is I saved, years ago, they used to send these CDs in the mail, trying to get you to, sorry, I gotta grab something. Sorry, I dropped something. My dog was going to eat it, so I had to get it, and then I dropped something else when I was trying to get it. Anyway, so back in the day, they used to, AOL, I think it was AOL, yeah, used to send these for trial CDs because they wanted you to buy their product. And I had a couple of these that I kept, and I figured, and I kept them with the intentions of cross-stitching something, spray painting it, cross-stitching something, and putting it on there. And it's not very deep because it just held a CD, but you could still put a little piece of batting in there, and, you know, covered with fabric, and put it in there to keep needles and pins and stuff. This does have hot glue in it because at one time I must have used it to set my hot glue gun on, but it can be easily picked out. So I found one of those. And then as I was digging in this box, I come across this Altoids tin. Now, these were Altoids that I did eat. They were the sour ones. They don't make these anymore. They don't make them anymore. I think the ones that they make now are icebreakers. Hi, Mac. This is Mac. Say hi, Mac, because he has to be in the know of everything. Anyway, and I do need to wash it out, but I figured that's cute. I could spray paint it. Yvonne didn't even paint hers. She just used the tins and just washed them out, and then just put her stitching right on top of it. And so on the back you can see all of her, I'm flashing you. Anyway, so you can still see the Altoids on the back, but you could easily spray paint it and that. So that was another one I found. And then two more that I found. I actually found this one. I had used it as an Ort catcher, and I had it in a travel bag that when I would take my cross stitch, if I traveled, then this way I could put my Orts in it and not have a mess everywhere, and then I could just empty it out. Isn't that cute? I love this. I remember buying these because these were new, the candy, and I thought, oh, it's a cute little tin, so I'll keep it. So yeah, this one has a little hinged lid on it. And then I found this one, and Remington, obviously I think it must have had some bullets in it at one time. And this one is quite a bit bigger than a regular, because this is the size of an Altoids tin, pretty much. So it's quite a bit bigger. But I thought that would be cute, that maybe I could cross stitch something and put on top of there. But I'm still on a mission for the Altoid tins, so who knows? I told my friend Diane that I will watch if they come on sale, and if they come on sale at my store, I may just buy some and dump out the Altoids and keep them. It just depends on it, because I think they go every once in a while. We have them for like $1, I think. Don't quote me on that. Okay, so the other thing, this video is going longer than I expected it would. I didn't have that much to talk about. Okay, so what I'm all into. I don't do this very often, but I am going every once in a while. I pop in and say, hey, this is what I'm all into. What I'm all into this week. So my sister, I had noticed because I've seen her quite a bit in the last couple of weeks because, since the 1st of January, because we've been moving my dad, we moved my dad into a new facility, and so I was helping her do that. And anyway, I noticed these pants that she was wearing. Well, yesterday I saw her and she had these same pants. She has the pants, but she has them in different colors. And so I'm like, those are really cute pants. Where did you get them? She's like, I don't remember, but she says, they are the most comfortable pants. And she says, they have an elastic in the waist. I'm like, really? Because I'm telling you, me to buy jeans I have a hard time, because all the jeans sit so low on my hips. I am constantly pulling my pants up, and it drives me nuts. And since I had, anyway, and she says she loves these pants. They're the elastic in the waist. She says, see if you can find them. So anyway, I went over. We don't have much options in our town for clothing for women or men or anybody. We have our JCPenney's closed down almost a year ago. I think it was last May, closed down. They are putting a Ross in, but I don't know when it's going to be open. They've been talking about it since before JCPenney's closed. So, but I do know they've been remodeling the JCPenney store, and that's where the Ross is going to go. We have a store called Bells, I think is what it's called. It's Beals. To me, to me, I think they're kind of expensive unless you can buy the stuff on clearance. Then it's reasonably priced. I don't go in there very often because I usually don't find anything that I like or fits me. That's my problem, is it's hard to find something that fits me. I'm not one that can order clothes online because I have to try them on, because in one brand a large shirt may fit me, and another brand a medium shirt may fit me, and another brand an extra large will fit me. So um, I actually have to try the clothes on. Well, anyway, so I went into Maurice's. I don't know if Maurice's is everywhere, but I do know that it is in our area, and I do know it is, in the Midwest. And I buy a lot of my clothes in there because I find that their clothes fit me the best. And I was in there looking for a dress. And I was looking for a certain kind of dress, a certain style of dress. And I was just looking around, and I noticed they had their jeggings on sale for buy one, get one half price. And I love jeggings. I think they're very comfortable. But again, I have the same problem, because they're made of like spandex and polyester. I don't know, but anyway, so I still have the same problem, because once I've worn them for a bit, then they've stretched out a little bit, and I'm constantly pulling them up. Well, anyway, as I'm looking, I come across some jeggings that have elastic in the waist. I'm like, So I looked through the pile, and they had black, they had a dark blue, and then they kind of had a washed out blue. I looked through all three piles. They had one pair that was not even in the size I would have wore. It was a size smaller. And I thought, I'm going to see if they'll fit me. So I went in and I tried them on. And when I first started putting them on, I thought, I'm not going to get these over my hips. But they did. They went over my hips very well. Put them on. These are the most comfortable pants I have ever worn. Oh my gosh, they have the elastic in the waist. They sit up higher on my waist. They hold in my belly. And they're so comfortable. So they had the one pair, and they were buy one, get one half off. And I'm like, okay, so I go up there, and I'm like, you only have one pair. All the rest were size smalls. Or they were all smalls. They're small shorts and small regulars. And I have to get shorts because I have short legs. And so if I get a regular pant, they are too long on me. And they had, all of them were small regulars, and they had one medium short, one. So I went up to the register, and I'm like, can you order them? Because they're buy one, get one half price. I was going to end up paying full price for these. And she says, let me look. So she went online to order them. They were out of my size. And all three colors, they were out of my size. And I really didn't want black, but I would have done black. So she ended up giving these to me for half off. So I paid half the price for them. And I'm telling you, I hope that they come out with regular jeans, because these are the skinny jeans, so they do have the tapered legs. I can get away with wearing these to work if I get the black ones, and I may just do that. I may keep checking online and seeing if I can order to get the black ones so I could wear them to work, because they are so comfortable. So I'm all into these jeans, because these are jeans I won't have to pull up all the time, because they sit up higher, they have the elastic in the waist, they still fit my butt without being baggy. So anyway, all into that. The other thing I am all into is, and the reason why I went there was I wanted to find me, I was actually looking for this style of dress, which is, I call them t-shirt dresses. I don't know what the real name for them is, but they're just dresses that they have no waist in them, And I love these dresses. They are so comfortable. I did buy this yesterday. I need to hide the price tag on that. I did buy this yesterday. And I wanted to go in and see if I could find a dress like this, but that was a little bit longer because this one goes just to my knees. And I wanted to find one longer so I could wear, that I could wear in the winter, that I could wear with the taller boots. Because, I don't know, I am not a fashionista person. And anyway, this I will wear in the summer with flip-flops. But I love these dresses because you can dress them up or you can dress them down. And in the summer when it's hot, these are like the perfect dresses. And I'm not a dress wearer. I'm going to put that out there. I am not a dress wearer. In the winter I wear jeans. In the summer I wear capris or jeans, but that just go below my knees, or capris, that go a little bit further down. I usually do not wear dresses. I bought my first one last summer and wore it to death. I loved it. It was cool, comfortable, um, didn't have, on my waist. The older I get, the more I want comfort. So anyway, so I bought this dress, and the material is soft and love it. The other thing that I'm all into, and probably the reason that I don't like things with my waist, because my waist grows sometimes, is, and people have showed this. I think Heidi Cranford showed it, and then I think Teresa Kitten Stitcher showed it the other day. But it's this yogurt, Noosa yogurt. And I work in a grocery store, and customers would buy this all the time, and they would tell me, you should try this yogurt. And I'm like, I don't like yogurt. I do not like yogurt. So I don't buy yogurt because I don't like it. This yogurt is expensive. It's $1.99 for this container. But really, when you break it down, because this container has 8 ounces in it, I believe. Yes, 8 ounces. So it's like two yogurts if you were to buy like the Yoplait yogurt. But still, I thought, I don't want to spend $1.99 for something I don't like, Anyway, well, the store that I work at every Friday has a free Friday download. So if you go onto the app, you can download a digital coupon to get a free item of their choosing. They say this is the coupon. Well, they had this on their free Friday download one time. It's been 5 or 6, maybe. Well, no, not 5 or 6. It's probably been September, October, maybe it was. Anyway, so I thought, it's free. I'm going to try it. Oh my gosh. I think I tried mango. I think was the first flavor I tried. Delicious. It is 8 ounces. I do not eat a whole one. It does say the serving size is once. They are high in calories. The serving size is 280 calories. And this is considered one serving size. I can get 3 out of this. It is sweet. Oh, the other one that showed it was Homesteading on the Home Front. And she says that she did the lemon one. And there's 4 in her family. And she divided it into 4, put a little bit of whipped cream on it. And they ate it as a dessert. And that's, yeah. So I usually get about 3 servings out of this. Is what I get. I'm the only one that eats it. But like I said, I don't like yogurt. I've tried liking yogurt. I've tried different flavors. I've tried different brands. I don't like yogurt. I love this. And I don't buy it very often because to me it is expensive. But I guess when you break it down into 3 servings, it's not that expensive because it would be less than $1 a serving. But so anyway, so this one is blueberry. I have tried mango. They have all kinds of flavors. Walmart does not. If you go to Walmart, you're going to find maybe 3 flavors. I work at Smith's, which is a Kroger store. We have probably a dozen flavors. I've tried mango, like it. Peach, blueberry, raspberry, and I am not much of a raspberry person, but the raspberry was really good. I tried the honey one, didn't like the honey one. They do have like a pumpkin one. I like pumpkin pie with lots of whipped cream. I have not tried it because I don't think that I would like it. They have a apple cinnamon one, I believe, or a cinnamon, I don't know. And I don't like cinnamon, so I haven't tried it. They do have a green apple one, so I might try it. Mango peach, lemon. Lemon's really good. Anyway, so I'm all into those right now. And I bought 3. I bought peach, mango, and blueberry this last time because they were on sale for $5, which is a bargain. So I bought 3 of them. Okay, so I think that's all I have to show you. And I'm almost to an hour. I've got to get this done. The quilt. So this week has stirred up a lot of memories. I've been thinking of a lot of things. Saturday night, I received a phone call that my brother had passed away. It was not unexpected, but it was a shock. It was a shock. He has had some medical problems, diagnosed quite a few years ago, 8, 9, 10 years ago, I'm going to say. The doctor, he lived in Vegas. The doctor pretty much told him, if you stay in Las Vegas, I give you 2 years to live. You need to get out of the stress of the city. You need to get out of the stress of your job. So that's what he did. He quit his job. Him and my sister-in-law moved. All their kids were grown. They moved to a little touristy town, bought a motel. Their motel is only open from like April to November, and just a very laid-back life for them. And by doing so, it gave him several years to live. And back in November, he had some heart problems, and the kind of heart problems he had, he was not a candidate for a heart transplant, because if they did that, these problems would just come back into his new heart. So he was not a candidate for a heart transplant. So back in November, just after Thanksgiving, he had 2 heart attacks, and that is kind of when I knew that he probably wasn't going to make it much longer. He did go in for surgery in December, and he was scheduled for surgery again Monday morning. He knew he wouldn't be having the surgery Monday morning. He just had kind of talked to a few people, and kind of just comments that he made. I think he knew, but he did die of a massive heart attack. And so it stirred up a lot of memories. We're leaving tomorrow to travel down. His funeral is on Friday, so we're leaving tomorrow, and are traveling down to his funeral. Anyway, because of that, it's caused a lot of memories and reminiscing and thinking, and so I wanted to share this quilt, and I'm going to move this so you can see more of the quilt and the shelf that it is on. This quilt, back on January 28th, was my mom and dad's wedding anniversary. If my mom was still alive, they would have celebrated 67 years. They did celebrate 63. But anyway, this quilt, I don't want to take it off here because it's loved. It is very loved. It is very ragged. It's torn. You can see it's worn in places. On the side that is not showing, you can see the batting. The batting there's big chunks where you can see the batting. But this quilt was stitched by my grandmother, my mom's mom. It was hand quilted, hand sewn together. Um, and it was made for my mom and dad when they got married. So this quilt is 67 years old. And how I received this quilt is my mom had, this has been years ago, like 15 years ago, long time ago. My mom, I was just starting into quilting, and I knew she had some, I don't even know what they were. They were like drums. I don't know, like 55-gallon drums only. They weren't that big. They were like 25 gallons. And they were cardboard, and they were lined with plastic. And I knew she had some fabric that she had in there. And so I was over her husband, and I said, Mom, can I go through that fabric? She says, sure, I don't care. So I went in, I was going through the fabric, and I found this quilt. And I'm like, Mom. So I asked her, what's the story about this quilt? And she says, oh, Grandma Rudy made that for your dad and me when we first got married. I'm like, oh, well, it's cool. And she says, I said, can I have it? And she's like, I don't know why you'd want that ratty old thing. And I'm like, because Grandma made it. And she made it for you and Dad when you got married. So yeah, I want it. And she's like, okay, you can have it. So anyway, so I took the quilt, and I have not, it's the way it was when she put it in, when I pulled it out, when she put it in the bin, and when I pulled it out, it has not been washed. If I washed it, it would just probably disintegrate. Anyway, so the reason why I want to show you the shelf that it's hanging on is my dad made me that shelf to hang the quilt on. So, so I have the shelf that my dad made that's hanging. It has the quilt hanging that was made by my grandmother for my mom and dad for when they got married. And so anyway, I wanted to share that with you. And as far as my brother goes, I've had my moments. I've cried. I will probably continue to cry and I'm still, I will still continue to mourn. I was kind of very close to this brother, especially at an early age growing up in my bonding years, because he's 15 years older than I am. And he is, or 14 years older. He's 14, 15 years older than me. And I was adopted into the family, and so my siblings were teenagers, and not, they didn't want to babysit. My mom and dad would go out or whatever, need a babysitter, and my older brother and my sister were like, oh, we don't want to babysit, This brother always said, sure, I'll babysit. And he would babysit, and as soon as mom and dad left, he'd call up his friends. And now, mind you, this is back in the early 70s. He would call up his friends, and he would say, Mom, Dad's gone, let's go. And his friends would show up on a motorcycle. They'd put me between him on the motorcycle, and off I'd go. And he tagged me everywhere he went. He used to tell me that if he'd go on a date with a girl, he always took me. And if the girl didn't like it, he never dated her again. And so I teased my sister-in-law that she must have not cared that he had his baby sister with him, because he married her. Anyway, so I have good memories with my brother, and I wanted to share you my quilt, because this quilt is very special to me, and it's, it has a lot of meaning to me. I'm going to get off here. I'm going to get this started uploaded. I'm going to go spend, I think, the afternoon with my sister, and I don't know what we're going to do. I think I'm just going to go out to her house and hang, because I just need to be around family right now. And so anyway, I will see you later. You guys have a good rest of your week, and have a good weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye.